Hello YouTube audience. Today I would like to work on this pine tree I just saw. So it is a Pinus mugo Jakobsen, which is a sweet mountain pine. This is a dwarf pine that's not going to grow very large, and the trunk is very contorted and naturally grows like a bonsai. So once I saw this tree, I think I have to get it, which is a bad habit of mine, but you can see there are a lot of branches in there. And it is a very hardy tree. It can tolerate extreme temperature down to -40 Fahrenheit. So it's in the Pacific Northwest, we are never going to get this extreme weather. So although it is mid-October right now, I probably should not prune a lot of ordinary trees at this time, but for this hardy tree, I think I can try to prepare it into a bonsai. Today I'm just going to cleaning out the branch structure. I'm not going to repot it, and I'm not going to wire it. I'm just going to prune it and wait until the spring to repot it and wire it. Okay, let's get started. So, just trying to get it away a little bit. And now, so first I'm going to take it out of the pot. Let's see. It is relatively pot bound, so in the spring it's probably a good time to repot it. Wow, it is really pot bound. Not easy to take out. Okay. That's which make it challenging to get a pot for this. But I think this is extremely healthy, vigorous tree, extremely healthy pot. Okay. Wow, you can see it's quite pot bound, really pot bound. So the first thing I want to decide, where is the front of the tree? I can use this pile of soil to angle my camera. Okay, so just going to tease away a lot of the roots on the surface and see where when the soil start to flare out, and the root base is going to help us to decide the front of the tree. Are you going to help? This is a beautiful tree in and by itself. Very rigorous and very root bound. Okay, I tear away a lot of the soil. Haven't really see the roots yet, the surface root yet. I think it's just random. All the roots are just curling round around the pot. So instead of deciding the front by the root base, I think I'm going to decide the front by the trunk line. So I'm just going to give it a spin. So this is, you can see the base kind of have an inverse taper here, so obviously this would not be the front. This could be a front. This have a nice taper, and here is very, very complicated trunk structure. A lot of branches come out from the one pond. So the most urgent thing is to short out those trunks. Not this way too. It's too straight. The whole thing is too straight. The trunk is too straight at this point, and also has some inverse taper there. So not this front. I personally prefer this as the front, and here is a long branch here. We can develop this into a semi-cascade tree, and here would be the head and here would be the tail. Let's see. I think that's what I will do. So if this is a semi-cascade tree, this is the style, then we would need to tilt it a little bit to make it cascade more. But also it could be just like that. I actually like this angle. Pretty good. So now let's get started on the work. Okay, so if this is the front, obviously we don't want these branches to crowd the front. But before we cut away the healthy branches, there is this branch that's completely dead and mushy. So I'm just going to, this is a no-brainer, I'm just going to cut this away. Probably it's rotted already, so just going to cut this away. That branch died because there's no light, sunlight go into that place, so it's going to die whatsoever. And then what's crowded the trunk is this branch. This branch really crowded the trunk. These two branches are too small to do anything anyway, and it's right in front of the trunk. So I'm simply going to get rid of these two tiny branches. Just going to go in here. It's in an awkward angle, but I'm going to cut this off just roughly first. Later we can cut it cleaner. Does pine tree has a dieback problem? Should I cut it that close? Oh. Okay, so already the trunk line is much cleaner now. Okay. Let's just stare at the trunk a little bit and see what can happen from there. So again, before I cut any live branches, first we need to clean up the dead branches. That's the easiest decisions to make. And all these branches are dead because no light came in here. So we can clean these branches. Okay, let's see. So then we need to another place that's crossing the trunk, which make us unable to see the trunk line, is this branch. This whole branch has to be removed. Here we go. Okay, now it's much cleaner. Okay, let's see. Still, at this place you can see already is developing a inverse taper, because at this node too many branches come out. We have to reduce it. The minor branches would have to go in this thing. Let's count how many branches come out from this place. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would need to reduce this to 2. So let's see. May even need to reduce this to 1. So this is I think this is a minor branch. We don't have to have this branch. So I'm just going to remove this. Okay. The other reason I'm pruning it right now is I normally don't want to waste the branches, don't want to waste the materials. So a lot of the time I would like to make cuttings out of all the branches that's cut off. But for pine tree, it's not going to grow from cuttings, so I'm simply going to cut it. So a lot of the trees I want to make cutting from, I want to wait until spring to prune it. But for pine tree, because it's not going to grow from cuttings anyway, so I'm just going to prune it right now. That is a relatively weak branch, so I'm going to prune it off there. And also, when I prune it off, you can see this branch is already dead, so I'm going to prune that off too, because too dense of branches, no lights come in here, that's why they die. This branch is very weak, but it's not completely dead yet, so I'm going to reduce it in length. This would be okay. Again, three branches come out of one place. That's going to create invert taper, And this would be, this branch is small and it's on the back. No one is going to seize it, and it's going to create invert taper, so I'm going to remove this. Okay. Okay, now we can see the structure much better. I think this branch, I would get rid of it too. It's crossing our main cascading branch. And it's also like 3 branches come out of one place. We have to get rid of one. Okay, so it's a thicker branch, but I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this branch. It's a big one, but okay, a big one. Oh, okay, here is a dead branch we can easily get rid of. There's no argument about this. No internal struggle about this. Okay, now we can see the structure much better. Okay, if I'm going to make this part kind of cascade, then I will need to tilt it a little bit so that it cascades. And somewhere on top there would be a head. Okay, maybe I think we can do it on this angle. Just going to put a piece of branch under there to prop it up. I feel that this would be a good angle. And then these branches, I'm just going to let it elongate and form a cascade. Where should the head be? So that would be semi-cascade down. Let's see. Put one more there to make it cascade. Okay. Okay, this will cascade nicely. Not enough. More. Okay. Okay. I think this is going to cascade. Now we're going to proceed with this angle. There is a nice little back branch there. We're going to keep to create a depth. This branch divide into 2, and it's not horizontal, it's upright, but later we could bend it down. Also, an easy thing to do is we can clean up a lot of the small needles on the branch so that we can just focus on the foliage out there. Okay, pluck the needles. Pluck the needles. Okay, I think later we're going to do this. Make it flatter, but I'm not going to wire it today. So that would be okay. Let's see. Now the question would be, where from this angle, I'm just going to stand up and try to analyze the structure. So from this angle, so here is the single branch come out of this branch, which is fine. At this point there's only one, but at this point there are 3 branches, so it's a easy way to decide. Here there are 3 branches coming out, so one of it has to go. Question is, which one should it be? My feeling is these 2 branches are almost parallel to each other, and it's coming out too close with each other. So I'm going to get rid of this one and keep this one. Okay. Okay. Get rid of some of the needles. Okay. That was a big cut. Now we get to here. This pond also looks like there are plenty of branches coming out from one place. This branch is definitely going to die because no light is getting to it. So I'm just going to remove this branch easy. Okay, so now this is the new apex. It's way too straight. It's very straight, and Let's see, what can we do about it? Just go up and continue to clean. Okay. Here, you can look at this direction. 3 branches come out from one place, and we have to get rid of one. Let's see. Oh, in fact, four branches come out of one place. We would have to get rid of 2. Let's see. If here is the front, somewhere like this. I'm just going to step back and think about it. Let's keep reducing. This place is obviously too much things happening here, so we would have to reduce this first. Let's go in and find things that we can reduce. Way too crowded here. Cannot even see what's inside. Okay, we can see now. Here it come out and branch into 2, which is fine. At this point, let's see. 2. This probably get into 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. So we need to decide which one to remove. I want a tiny needle to grow here. I just remove this. I think I'm going to remove this big one. I want the smaller needles to grow at this point, so I'm going to remove the big one. Okay. Okay, the big one is gone. And here probably we have multiple branches come out too. That's why it's so crowded. Oh, no. This is 2 branches. Okay. It looks like 3 branches come out. Let's see. 3 branches from... Is it true? Let me clean some of the needle from the base of the branch so that I can see the branch structure better. Okay, I've get rid of some of the needles. Here. Maybe from this angle it will be easier to see. So we still, even after get rid of one, we still have this that's branching into three. This is upward growing, and let's see, is it possible to be the apex? No, I don't think this would be the apex. So and it's upward growing, so I'm just going to get rid of this one. Let's see, this one I'm going to get rid of. Okay. Now we have one branch into two, and this further branch into two. That's good. Just going to remove some of the bottom needles so that we can see the branch structure better. Okay, this branch into two. Okay, now we can see this to this place. I still haven't decided where is the apex yet. Let's see. This would be one branch, this would be one branch, and this would be the apex, I guess. But it would have to be wired. If you drop this branch down, okay, I think this would be the apex, and this would just be a branch. In this case, so here, obviously, I think we have three branches coming out from one place. We will have to reduce. If this is a branch, ultimately it's going to go relatively horizontal, and okay, let's first get rid of this clump of branches. There's definitely more than three branches come out from one place. But this is upward growing, so I'm just going to get rid of this one. Let's see. And it's also going back to itself. Let's see. This. If we decide this would not be the apex and just a side branch, or this could be a branch and not be the apex. Let me just bring it back to the front view and think about it. This is way too long. This is out of the silhouette. So, silhouette. This is way too long, I think. If this would be a side branch, we could ultimately... Nope, I'm not going to touch this one yet. But we have to think about how to deal with this clump. Okay. I think before I tackle the apex, I want to handle this side branch first, because it's way too much stuff happening here. I think it would be easier to handle this branch first and then go back to the apex. Okay, let's see what's happening here. If we wanted to cascade, we will need to decide which branch to use. This branch hanging downward. Okay, this is a relatively weak branch, and it's almost parallel to this very strong branch. I think let's see. It's parallel and it's way too long. Let me think about it. Obviously, there are 3 branches come out of here. Divide into 2. Okay. In this case, 3 branches come out of here, almost the same place. Not really 3 branches. This is, let's see. If we would look from this view, it's actually more clear that it is 2 branches two branches, and this divide into two here. This one divide into two here, and then it quickly divide into another two, and this is a weak branch compared to the one on top, so it's not going to do well. I'm just going to remove this one, this weak branch. Okay, you can see it's a lot of it, the foliage is already dying. So, okay. I think this tree, the angle could be even more drastic, then I can see it better. So when the angle is like that, it's really cascading. Okay, I can see it now. So this would be the apex. It would have to be wider, maybe this way, to form a S shape. And this would be a branch. Let's see, cascading down. I think this is just need to be shorter, and it can butt somewhere. Okay, let's see. This is cascading. This branch is blocking this branch. But before I completely remove it, I would like to give it a chance. Just shorten this branch and see. Let's see. I want to completely remove this branch. Yeah, I think I'm going to completely remove it. Okay, sure. Okay. Now I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Just clean it up. Okay, now this big branch. This place is still very crowded. Need to think about how to deal with it. Okay, so. Okay, there is probably 3 branches coming out from here. Yes, this is growing upward. I'm just going to remove the upward growing branch. going to remove this upward growing branch because 3 branches coming out here. Now I can clean up a lot of the needles so that I can actually see what's happening. The branch structure. In fact, I think there are four branches come out of one place. Let's look from the front again. It's still one massive trunk here, massive ball here. I'm going to get rid of this big one. And now we don't have that massive of a structure up there. And ultimately this would be a side branch. For side branch, this is upward growing. This one is cascading. Okay, let's see. Handle the cascading branch a little bit more. Okay. Let's see. This is simply try to tackle wherever it's easier to tackle. Just going to rotate this a little bit. So here we have one dividing into 2. I think this would be the major cascading branch. And yes, this place, although I get rid of a branch that's crossing here, these 3 branches are still too close together. Yes, so I have to get rid of this one. Let's see, from the front view again. This one. Yes, I will need to get rid of this one. Okay, so this branch would be the cascading branch, and this would be a side branch. One divide into three. Here again we have three needles coming out of one. I'm just going to, here we have three, one divided into three. I'm just going to keep one. I'm going to get rid of the top one. Okay. Hopefully these would have a lot of space to grow now. Divided into two and two divided into two, that's good. This whole branch is pretty good. Just going to get rid of some needles. Okay, wait. It still divides into three here. This place. So you have one divided into two, two and divided into two, that's good. But here, one divided into two, this place it's still divided into three. So I'm going to get rid of one of it. Just going to clean some of the needles so that I can see the branch structure a little bit better. Clean some of it. Okay, here. Three branches come out of this place. So this branch is big, but it's kind of parallel to this branch. To this small branch, I'm just going to give the chance for the small branch. I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. Give a chance for the little guy to grow. Okay, again, three come out of one place. Again, you have three branches come out of one place on this note. So I'm have to decide which one need to go. I'm going to get rid of the small one this time. Because these two branches are too close together. They are just interfering. This one, these two are just interfering. This one and this one are too close together. They are just interfering with each other. So I'm just going to get rid of the small one this time. First, I need to find the small one. Too many needles. Cannot even find it. Okay, let's bend it down and get rid of it. Pine trees really smell good when you're pruning it. Okay, so here is the cascading branches. Okay, now okay, this branch is cascading, and this would be the ultimate angle. More would need to go down. Okay, this is probably the ultimate angle of things. So, if this would be ultimately be the apex of the tree, this would need to be wired down like this, and this may not be even be able to wire it down. I don't think we can keep the upward branches here. So if I decide that this is indeed not the apex, the trunk go up here, in the future I may wire it back so that it go this way, then I don't think this two should be here. It's blocking the main trunk line. Yes, it's going back to itself, so I will need to remove this too. Okay. Or I can simply remove one first. Here. Okay. Now let's take a look again. How is this looking? Can I save this one? No, it's still blocking the trunk line, so I need to get rid of this branch completely. Yes, going back on itself. Okay, now we have the trunk line, and we can take care of the back branches, which will give this tree its depth. First of all, there are 3 branches come out of one place, and this upward growing branch I'm going to remove. Yes, remove that. Okay, then you can see the branch structure goes. Okay, the back branch is cleaned out now. So now we have the back branch is also fine now. 1 go into 2 and 2 go into more. This one I don't think someone has divided yet, so let's leave it. Okay, now it's the time for apex. Okay, the rest of the branches are all pretty much clean. The problem with the apex is it's very straight, growing up here, and it become very straight. Long straight line up here, which is not very good. So I think I'm going to get rid of the whole top that forms this long straight line up, and keep all those smaller branches. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of the original apex. Okay, just going to leave a little bit because this is a major branch and I don't want it to die back. And then this later we can wire this original apex, like this branch this way, to make it form a classical S shape. And we are still having 3 branches come out of one place. So this branch ultimately will be wired down. This branch is fine. I think this branch is facing us, so let's see. If we look at the 3D structure, this branch and this branch, because three branches come out of here, so I need to remove one. Think about one to remove. This branch and this branch is almost parallel, so I'm going to remove this one. Okay, so now I think the branch structure are pretty much sorted out. Ultimately, this branch is going to be wired back so that it faces the audience, face the viewer. Yeah, it's not looking instantaneously good, but I hoped over the year it would develop into a nice bonsai. Now I'm just going to seal all the big wounds so that it doesn't bleed to death. Okay. Und okay. Sealed. 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 And sealed. Okay, I think that would be our initial cleaning of the branches, and I've sealed all the major cut points with the tree wound dressing, and now I will just let it grow. Let's see. Now I will just let it grow through the winter, and in spring I may wire it a little bit, but I'm definitely not going to repot it, although it's very pot bound. I just need to be careful with watering. I need to water them enough so that it doesn't dry out, but other than that, I'm not going to move the root right now. I'm going to wait for the spring and then repot it. Probably need to repot it into a big pot initially, and gradually reduce it into a smaller pot. Ultimately, it's going to, but if it's a semi-cascading tree, ultimately it's probably going to go into a deep pot, so it's going to be relatively easy for the tree. Instead of going into a small and shallow pot, it's going to be a drastic change for the tree, but I think this is going to be fine. So I may wire it a little bit and then see what happens there. Okay, I will see you in the next video.